Right. Uh, Good evening, guys. Hi. Right. Yes, yet again on another live. I hope all of you enjoyed the mentor sessions, and the mentorship sessions went really well. And I think all of you really enjoyed it. And thank you very much again for all our mentors and all the participants who took the best out of it. And still more mentorship session to come today at 7 p.m. onwards, and also tomorrow for about another 1 hour. So we're going to discuss a few things more today. We're just going to keep it again very short and very lively to make sure that we are all in line, right? So there's more experience to come, as I said. There's more thing that we want to do to give you back. And just a quick wrap up for what we did for the day. Today we started with knowledge download, so about canvas, lean canvas, and I know the lean canvas where really went, and then soon after that mentorship sessions from like it I think it about 4 hours of mentorship session with different teams going on, and really happy virtually that we were able to game this up, uh, top up the game in terms of with all the technologies including Discord to Zoom, all the mentors coming on, right? Right. So now what's next? So we have come all these things. Now it's a little bit of to understand a different knowledge download in an experience sharing way, right? So I know that for last 2 days I've been coming in live and also a lot of Discord audio chats and Discord text chats. So let's keep ours aside, right? So let's get into a complete different norm or different topic, which is very needed. Hope all of you remember, all of you really aware that we talked something called minimum viable product, right? From idea to minimum viable product to something that you can sell in the market, test, validate, and go on. So all of us are on the process of validation, and I think all of hats off to the teams. All the 17 teams are doing a very great job, and commitment is great. So I want more commitment and just one more day to go. Out of the 54 hours, we are just done close to 24 hours. Uh, a few more to go. Let's get it done. Right. So very happy, very pleasure as usual that one of the contributor always whenever we wanted one call away. So yes, today we have Anjana Somatilaka, founder at Nuclear Technologies and CTO at Intuami.lk. Always, Anjana, thank you very much. You has joined us, giving us the best that you can do.
Yeah,
From
yeah.
K
Thanks for
Labs.
having me as well.
Definitely, definitely. Our pleasure. Thank you very much for joining us, giving your best always. So, guys, again, just going to give the stage back to Anjana. So, Anjana is going to talk about how to build a minimum viable product. And I'm sure that you always did an excellent job in giving a very good knowledge download. And just really sorry that we are giving him only 30 minutes, right? So which you're restricting him. So he would love to give you more. I think he does a very interactive session in terms of there's lot more to learn out of him. Please make sure that you get the best out of him. And just for reference, I know most of you are live, but however, it's also recorded on YouTube and Facebook for you for future reference. But please make the best out of him. Feel free to trouble him after 30 minutes on Q&A if you have any doubts. Uh, yes, that's it. Anjana, again, thank you very much. It's all yours. Take it further, brother. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Fawaz. All right. How do I see the crowd? Are they on video as well? Or so I have to assume the crowd is all over there, right? I don't see them in the video. Cool. Let me share my screen and then start sharing few ideas how to build a MVP and how to stay focused in a very short period of time and build something which is useful. All right, so everyone is on YouTube Live. Screen share. Goodness. Hopefully you guys can. Cool. All right, so let's get started. I think most of the time when we talk about MVP in a hackathon, there are a lot of questions people have, starting with, should it really work? what should be built into this MVP, and is it really practical to build something? Is there tools, products out there which can help us? All those are questions. So I'm trying to answer a few of those. Also, I'm trying to explain within next 20 to 30 minutes what is MVP and how to approach that. Not just building, but to understand what needs to be done in the process of building the MVP. All right. Look at this diagram. There are three approaches, A, B, C, for you to build a product, a minimal viable product. And comments. Okay. Right. So I'm looking at the live comments because I need to understand what you think. What do you think is the right way to build a minimum viable product, MVP? Is it A, B, or C? Anyone? So if you look at the approach A, you're promising MVP to a client. What matters is your end result, right? Your end result is okay. One says B, two people say B, another guy says B. Okay, let's keep talking. Approach A, you're promising a product. However, you start building a tire. But in your first iteration, will you be able to tell about the end product that you're building? No, you're simply showing a tire. And then your clients have to imagine the rest of the features. B is you start building a kid's bike, which is called a scooter. You paddle, there's no paddle, you have to push the ground and it goes. And then you build a bicycle, then you build a motor bicycle, then you build a car. Oh, is it C? You start with a chassis with four wheels, steering wheel, like you have some feel to what the vehicle is. Then you build a body to it, and then you optimize the body. Then you build the final product. Most of the experts says it's C, but there's no right or wrong answers in that case. B would be, so A is out. We all understand A is out, right? B, the change in what you're doing, like a person who's building a motorbike, a person who's building a push bike, for them to build a motorbike, I'm taking this example, right? Amount of motor mechanics that they have to understand, engines. So your version 2 to 3, there's a lot of effort and there's a lot of new knowledge that you have to bring it in. And from building a motor vehicle, a car, with the knowledge of building a motorbike is even higher. So that might not be practical, but it's not impossible. You at the stage of B, if you can find right people, you can build a motorbike from a bike and then build a car. But what is more practical is you build the path C, where you start with a chassis and a very limited body and the driving experience, where the end result of your product is somewhat communicated to the client. All right. So whoever says C, pat on your back. B is also fine. I'm lucky who nobody said A. Cool. Let's move to the next slide. Most of the time, when we talk about a prototype, when we talk about a MVP, people think it's a lot of tech. Now it's the time to start coding. But in reality, if you are building a product which is a solution to a business problem, you have to consider the user experience, technology, business. So that is where most of the founders at early stage, before they build the product, they need to bring in either tech knowledge, or either they have to have tech knowledge or bring someone with tech knowledge, know the business really well, the problem that you are solving. I believe you had sessions to break uh, break the business problem into a business solution and to validate that with a business canvas and some business models, just to see whether your problem that you are solving, the product that you're building is viable, things like that. You have done it. Then the other angle is user experience, because you're building a product to solve a problem and which is most likely to be used by humans. When humans are involved, their experience when they use this system, we use this product, matters a lot. Let's go into each of these. So building MVP is a combination of all three, right? The Venn diagram clearly shows that. The user experience, technology engineering one, and understanding of the business and the problem and the solution. All right, let's talk about UX. Let's try to understand what we really mean by user experience in a few minutes. So there is a confusion at times between user interface as well as the user experience. User interface is your layout, how you place buttons, how you place content, visually how beautiful that design is, branding, what brand, how, whether you want to get your brand name there, whether it's a product name, and how interactive is the design with the end user. And that's all part of the user interface. So you can pick a beautiful user interface. You can look at when it comes to a text section, I'll explain how to go on pick beautiful UIs, how to find them, how to get them into your system in a nutshell. But that's the user interface angle. User experience is, if I take an example, if you give your product, you are not planning to give a product guide with your product, right? So when user comes log into your system, first when they come and type the URL or download the app or whatever that means, install the desktop, you are telling a story. You are telling the user, now you have to log in. When you log in, you can perform something. So user understands that story. User follows that story. Then you show a menu and you tell a story. In this menu, these features are available. These options are available. Pick what is most suitable for you. That's the storytelling part. Engagement is also quite important. That is how you make sure customer feels at home. Customer feels that, okay, I'm here to draw a diagram and this system allows me to do that. I'm here to buy a product online and this system allows me to do that. And customer is engaging. Like you select a product, maybe you're trying to buy, these days everyone is trying to buy groceries. You try to click a category of item, it suggests these are the other items, these are the items which are not available, in stock, out of stock. All that is part of the engagement, and you understand the story. And then you have objectives. You have objectives in the system where a user to come in, where first objective may be to download the app or log into the app. Then you have objective of user getting registered within the system. So you have the username, password, and things like that. And then you want user to do certain things. You want user to click buttons. You want user to enter information. You want user to use the system. Those are all your objectives. Your user experience actually deals with all those objectives, all those engagement, storytelling. So the point is, you have to think of that before you jump in and develop something. You have to think from user's point of view and build that user experience. And of course, you don't build the user experience at once, just like everything else. It's all about continuous improvement. You start with an interface. We want user to pay. Yes, that's a very good objective. You want user to pay. If not, well, there are. If you look at a system like Twitter, Twitter didn't ask users to pay for a long period of time, right? And Facebook is still not asking money, but they are earning way more. So it's a business strategy. That is why I said that it's a user experience, is a tech and business all in one go. Sometimes you don't know why you want to use this, but you get paid. The product owners get paid, providers get paid by you simply enjoying content. A good example is YouTube. You go, you watch movies, and you're getting the service, but same time YouTube is getting paid, and they are paying you to make videos. Even the creators are being paid. How do they earn money? They have a strategy of ads. So all that is something that you need to plan. So coming back to UX, usability is a big area. However, thanks. So however good your system is, if your system is not usable, again users will find it difficult. Now, for instance, like a very simple example, like an iPhone having only one button, right? And whereas if you take a remote control, like any remote control, where is this? Has so many buttons, and you need to make decisions. From a usability point of view, it's little difficult to work on. All right, so that's the difference between UI UX. Any questions so far? Or if you understand, just say yes, no, something, so that I understand that people are there and not sleeping yet. All right, so moving on, I'm gonna bring another angle to this. Look at this door. How many times you have got confused whether it's a push or whether it's a pull, right? Because this door is very confusing for most of the people. We are not sure. Sometimes we try to pull it and doesn't work, then you push it, or you try to push it and it doesn't work, then you try to pull it. Sometimes even the push and the pull doesn't work because the door is locked. So that's another bad experience. The door does not say it's locked, right? So your user experience is really bad in that case. A better design, a person called Normal actually found this design. They brought this simple design into the user experience. So the reason I'm bringing non-tech technical example, this user experience is there in every product, right? You're also building a product to solve a problem. That problem can be a software or it can be something real. Look at this design. If you don't have a handle, what would you do? Because there's nothing for you to hold on to, right? There's no handle. So then you naturally push. So by simply removing the handle, it becomes a push. By having a handle, it's that user experience tells you a story, achieve their objectives, get user to do what you want them to do, makes it a pull. Now that's such a simple example. Sometimes it's written so many times, and some doors I've seen one door is pull, the other door is push, which is even confusing because you see both the words in the same door, right? Okay, all right, moving on. Now, don't Google. Why are there grooves on the tip of the toothpick? How many of you have noticed this? This is why. Once you use a toothpick, the end of the toothpick is dirty, right? You put it in your mouth. Now that you have COVID-19 and next year you'll probably get David-20 or whatever it is. So you don't want to put it on the table and make the table dirty. You break at the end, leave it on the ground, and leave it on the table and rest the used toothpick on that. So in fact, if you see, it has two grooves, right? One groove to break it, the other groove to hold the resting toothpick. All right. So what is this called? This is actually called invisible design. Invisible design. This design is not, people don't realize what this is, but this has a very practical reason. Okay, what's the answer to this? And I'm not gonna give the answer to this one. This you can Google, and whoever Googles or guess and type that answer, I don't know, maybe the organizers will give you a gift later. I have gifts, but I can't, give you any gifts due to the present situation in the country. So don't look at the brand. I'm not a brand ambassador of Colgate. Uh, why is the cap of the toothpick? Free face mask. Anyone can guess? Anyone can find and type the answer? All right. So the interest of time. So and if you find it, just type it, and I'll leave it for the crowd to find out. So these are all use experience. So the three in the Venn diagram, the three sets. The UX we talked about, why it is so important when you're doing a product. Your product has to be easy to use. Whoever is using that product has to feel comfortable. That's what the user experience provides. So they don't have to think so many times and ask questions, call the phone. But think of it this way, right? You have an online ordering system, e-commerce site, and if people call and ask how to order, what to order, do you have? Okay, a conical path will roll in a circular path. All right, so I think someone is going to get DigitalOcean cloud credit. So it says, because it's conical, it moves in a circular path rather than in a straight line of the edge of the bathroom counter. So reason is, you wake up, you're half asleep, you go, you take your brush, take it, and you keep the cap on the counter. If it rolls in a straight line, it'll fall down from your counter. If it rolls in a circular motion, highly likely it will not fall down, it will be there. So in the morning, you don't have to pick it up. All right, so I think we got two people answering that. Yal and Christo answered that. Moving on. Sandurvan has another answer. He talks about the industrial manufacturing process. He says it's easy to mold that way. Okay, hope you guys are good in Google. All right, moving on. Now we are hitting the business angle, right? So all of you worked on the business model canvas. Same way, you can do a minimum viable canvas. Then you can understand what are your unique value proposition, staying in focus, what are your value propositions, and what is the cost structure. So when you build this product, what you offer, how you earn. So this has to match, right? Your MVP, every time you do an MVP or an iteration on that, has to focus on what you give it to the client, what we call creating value, right? Your product creates value. That's how most of the startup works on these two principles. One is you create value so that people come and use it. Then the other angle is called capturing value. Capturing value is from the people who, the value that you created, people who are using that, you tell them, hey, it's time to pay now. How many of users who find it interesting, who find that value of the product, will pay you? That's what you call capturing, right? It's like you give something and then capture it. That's how you make money in a startup. So always you have to focus on how do I create value. Most of the startup founders focus on creating value, but also same time you have to think of How do I capture that value? That might be a direct payment from the customer, or that might be another monetization. All right, so create value, capturing value. That's how it works. And you can be creative, but bottom line, you have to focus on those two. So you can do a minimum viable canvas to stay in focus on what to build, what not to build. So now we are in the business set, right? This is a very, very, very oftenly asked question from mentors. Every time I walk into a startup, a hackathon, they ask me what to build. And I'm like, it's your idea, and you are the one who has it. But it's very hard. We have a team of 5, and some people say let's build this, and then some people say let's build this. I'll tell you this. This is a question in a startup. This is a question in a hackathon. This is a question in a startup. Even a question in a multi-million-dollar enterprise. We have a product. What should we build it? What to prioritize? There's a little framework that you can use to help to stay focused. Let's go into that. This is that, right? So this has 2 axes. The vertical, the y-axis is the business value. As you go up in that, you have high business value. Horizontally, as you go down your x-axis, it has the implementation complex, right? If you look at the lower quadrant, the red color quadrant, those are the low value, low complexity features. Now, for instance, let's take an example. If in your application, if you have a button, okay, in your website you're trying to put a ad. Do you think people will click on that ad, or do you think that product has a lot of value by simply having an ad? Maybe not. The complexity is also very low, right? Or introduce a simple button that can change colors of this. It's a not many users care about it, and it's very easy to implement it. Technically, very easy to implement it. Things like that. So all the features, everything your team members are discussing, bring that into these 4 quadrants. Some of the features are low value, low complexity. And the worst kind is this: low value, high complexity. It has very low value, but very high complexity to build. Something like if you have a very well designed e-commerce site and a chat functionality. Very little business value will be added by that chat functionality, because people are used to how to use an e-commerce site. But to build chat, right, unless you're buying a service, if you have to build a chat functionality from scratch, it's high complex. So that's that the areas like that you can deprioritize. You can say it has very low business value, but very high in tech complexity. So let's not build it for today. So what are the ones you should really focus? Is this blue quadrant: high value, low complexity. Really, really high value features, but they are very simple to build. Those are the ones that you need to focus first. Then the other category is high value, high complexity. These are your strategic initiatives. These are the ones that you plan little ahead. Okay, when we go to 100 clients, when we get this amount of money, we will build it. All right. Is this matrix clear to you? Do you think that you can get all the features of your MVP split into these 4 quadrants and then make a decision? All right, let's move on. Okay, now we are coming to the last set of the Venn diagram, which is tech. And I have to switch to another link. Let me copy paste this link. I think if I Do you okay? You see that? Just trying to send this to you. Okay. All right. Arshad, I send you the link. For some reason, I can't put it in live comments, but I send it to the private channel, and you can put it on the live comments. All right. Let's see. Yes, so we have 10 more minutes. So this list is about the technologies that you can use. I start with a mind map. When you have an idea, the first thing that you need to do is find a product where we can map your idea, start mapping. Also, when you're selecting a product, please make sure there is export to Excel in that product. Why you need that? When you do your mind map, you can export it to line items with category and line items. A category is a, a, a node in your mind map, and you can directly create a project plan from the mind map. Hope you got that idea, right? You draw the mind map, each node is a category, and then you have line items. You export that to Excel, and then it becomes a list of tasks to be done with who's going to do each task, when to start, when to finish, estimate. All that will become your project plan eventually. So you can create a project plan from your mind map. Then you start working on a wireframe prototyping. Either you can use most of these tools. There are a lot of tools available to wireframes and prototyping. But something I practically use is if you're building a mobile application, print screen size of a phone so that you have the actual size, right? You can print it like something that you can hold it in your hand, and start drawing in this so that it gives a real look and feel of the actual size of the content that you're going to put it there. But if it's a desktop or a web application, take a paper of the size of the screen and then start drawing it there in a manual fashion. That also a good way of going about it. All right, so going back to the list. So you have the wireframes, prototyping, so many tools. So either you can go with a printed piece of paper and draw it, or you can use any of those tools. And then comes something very important. So I mentioned this in the MVP section. Sometimes you are not sure how to design a user interface for this problem. What I do is, most of these cases, when I'm in doubt, I go to Dribble. Click on that, and it will open it like this. And there you can search for systems that people have designed. Like if you're doing e-commerce, so that will give you, okay, let's see this. This give you this, you can get inspired by these designs by simply looking at it, how they have solved these problems, right? So there's a lot of stuff that you can look at it in this site. Okay, coming back. There's a delay in refreshing than my computer versus the screen, but however, okay. So where were we? So for UX and design inspirations, you can have a look at in any of these. FreePick is a very nice site where you can type, you can find icons, logos. You can there's open content as well as paid content, and Shutterstock, something that you already know. Even Pinterest has a lot of products thoughts just like Dribble. Look at those, do keyword searches on those, and get inspired by how the user interface is going to look like, how they have solved the problem that you're trying to solve. Can you guys type some of the problems that you're trying to solve so that I get a sense of so I can focus on the rest of the tools? Who's just type whatever the product that you're trying to build, whether it's e-commerce, delivery, medicine delivery to taxi hail, whatever that is. Just keep typing. Oh, are you still in the process of deciding what is the what is the product that you're trying to build? What's the problem that you're trying to solve? Or have you already decided? Okay, while the team gets chance to answer it, I'll move on. So you start with the UI UX, and then something very important when you're doing a okay, I see stuff. App to request curfew pass. Medicine. I hope that is medicine delivery. And obtain a digital pass. Digital pass, again, I think it's a curfew pass or maybe something else. Marketplace for freelancers and local businesses in Sri Lanka. Website to encourage plasma donation. Okay. App to use math solve. Okay, like something to help people solve maths problems. All right. Okay. Cool. So seems like most of these are web. Only the final one is a mobile app. All right. Now coming into another segment, which is project and time management. When you are in a hackathon, it's very critical to manage your time. You have limited time, but you have a lot of things to do. That is why you have to stay focused. You have to prioritize it. You have to descope things and pick things and use tools, a lot of good tools, so that it'll save time for you. One good way to do that is I'll start with this counter, like a startup counter, like a countdown uh, timer. What it means is it shows you have 5 hours left, then it says 4 hours and 50 minutes, 4 hours and 40 minutes. So the timer keeps going down, like a countdown timer. So when you look at it, you know, okay, I only have 4 hours, 3 hours, 2 hours. So you're informed about the time. To collect waste is another app to directly affect people. Okay, so use a task tracking system, something like Trello, Jira, or even you can use GitHub issues. And moving on to some of the tools. This has a list of tools by New York Hackathons, NY Hackathons. Have a look at this. They talk about a lot of tools. Some of those tools are also here, but there's list of tools here. So engineering wise, always start with if you're writing code, start with a version control, so that if your machine gets crashed or if something happens to your local machine, you have a version up there. Or if even by mistake you change something, if you want to go back to older versions, it will help you. Like in a hackathon, it makes sense to keep track of all the changes that you do and not to lose your source code, which is very, very important when you're building. It doesn't have to be only the source code. It can be the graphics that you're editing, the designs that you're editing, the ideas that you keep modifying. All that needs, you can keep versions, which matters. Then comes diagramming. I got Creately, a product built in Sri Lanka. Also, it was built in a start during a hackathon, and now a global product, even used by NASA. Or you can simply use Google Docs. You can use Whimsical, very simple tool to use. Mural, where you can see other people change in your diagrams. Get hold of a good diagramming tool and collaborate within your team of the idea, of the prototype, of the UIs, everything. Then we are hitting okay. On the time. I think we are good to go with last few minutes. Rapid development, right? One platform called Meteor, where you can, it's like a one code base. It has your front end, back end, data all in one. You don't have to design databases separately, install databases. You build the Meteor package. You can create UIs, automatically data is connected with the back end. You can do a lot of stuff. Really good tool to hack, a really good tool to build something in a very small period of time. If you are building a mobile app, and if you don't know mobile technologies like Objective-C, Android, Java, you can use Ionic. It's a cross-platform, and Ionic works on HTML and JavaScript. You can write HTML and JavaScript code, and it creates a mobile application for you. If you are building a desktop application for some reason, Electron is a very good option. You build it and it runs on almost all the desktops, Linux, Windows, Mac, and so on and so forth. SL Forge is another Sri Lankan product on cloud computing. If you're writing AWS Lambdas, that's a very good product. MongoDB is a very nice object database. You can find a free hosting server as well, and you don't have to plan for your database designs. You can get going. PouchDB is the mini version of MongoDB. It can stay in your browser. Your browser can have a database without no installation. And you keep right into the PouchDB. PouchDB internally takes that data, what we call replicate, to the server. So you don't need to have an API in your browser. You don't have to write APIs. From the browser, you write it to the Pouch. Pouch replicates that data up in the cloud to the something like CouchDB. React is a good JavaScript framework. Most of you are familiar with that to build a UI. AngularJS is also a competitor. So React is from Facebook. Angular is from Google, right? So it's based. React Native is, again, from Facebook, is to build mobile application. React is to build web applications. And if you want like a fast data storage, Redis is a very good solution which can store data in a key value pairs. You give a key and a value to that, and you can read it really fast. And that you can even store data in memory. It doesn't have to go to the database to retrieve it. And then Elasticsearch is a very good option if your application has a lot of queries, a lot of search queries. If people are looking for products, if people are looking for stores, nearby riders, searching for medicine, searching for items, you don't have to tax your database. You don't have to take all of those search queries to the database. You have your database. From the database, you create a search index, which is Elasticsearch, and all your queries go to the Elasticsearch. That's a nice way of doing that. And if you are using Node.js, all the NPM modules are free for you. Right? Those are some of the areas based on your interest, based on what you're building. Go through this list and pick something that works for you. When it comes to deployments, putting it on a server, right? Nginx is a very good web server choice. Runs, it takes very small amount of memory to start and run. You can easily replace any PHP or any web content, serve web content from Nginx. If your application requires emails, send in emails from the applications like user registration email or an email to confirm the password, or forget password email, all that, you can use Mailgun, and it has a free tier. So you can send around 100 emails for free or something like that, right? And then hosting, Google Firebase, most probably all of you are familiar with it. If you are going down the path of MongoDB, you can use MLab. They also have a free tier, like you can get a very small database, which is good enough for you to host your hackathon product, the startup product, MVP. Then you have Kubernetes, OpenShift. These are a little bit complicated stuff if your product requires that kind of attention. Then another good product to integrate earlier on is Google Analytics, so that you can understand what users are checking in your system. Are they clicking the product catalog? Are they looking at a common product, or are they clicking everywhere in the site? What do they do? How many users come into this site? How many people leave the site at a very small period of time, what we call the bounce rate? How many people are going down your objective of selecting, like if it's a e-commerce, browsing, selecting, going to the shopping cart, checkout, payments, to keep track of all that, you can use Google Analytics. And also another product competing with Google Analytics is called Mixpanel, which gives you very nice dashboards, so that you can see how people are using your system, which you can take as an input to improve the second version or the subsequent version of your product. All right, so I think with that, I was on time for the first half an hour, and then forum is open for questions. Yep. So the organizers sent a message saying they are giving away Google Cloud credit up to $300. So that is, so think of storing, hosting your solution in Google Cloud. In that case, you get Google Cloud instances, databases, all that on the cloud. That could be a great start. And 100 USD in DigitalOcean as well. So there are two options, I believe, based on your preference. Any questions? Anything to ask? It's the time for questions now. Question is it for all the people or is it for individuals? Afkram is asking whether the $300 a common budget or is an individual budget. Admins to answer that. I think it's a individual budget. Individual budget, yes. You get $100 in DigitalOcean or $300 in Google Cloud. Oh, and to chosen individuals, not for everyone. How to get selected? Make progress, make use of things that you learned. Any questions about the content? Okay, so Google credit for all. DigitalOcean is for the top 100 active teams. Top 100 active teams. All right, so in that case, Time to ask questions. If not, I will ask a few questions for teams to answer. My first question is, when you are building a product, there can be many, but name few monetization strategies. How to earn, how to make money. What are the strategies that you know of? Keep typing. How to make money from your product. Top 100. I think, okay, correction. Top 10 out of 90. For the top 10 most active teams. Okay, one strategy is ads. Sandaru and Fernando says ads. Rashmi says subscription. Excellent torch. AdSense. Sarana Premaratna, subscription, ads, one time free, maintenance free, ads. Okay. Trading fees. Okay, that's interesting. Generally, the idea of a startup is to build a self-servicing product, right? Product which does not need anyone to teach you. Service charge, license fee, number of users per product, in-app advertising, subscriptions, sponsorship, and partnership. Okay, so you guys kind of know how to make money. Good. Support free. Good. Okay. Due to COVID-19, what behavioral changes has happened in Sri Lankan society? Behavioral change is something that people used to do in one way. Now it has changed to another way. What are the behavioral changes? Second question. What are the behavioral changes due to COVID-19 in Sri Lanka? Staying home is one. Selling information. So that's a tricky one, Christo. You have to be careful what you sell and put that in your system agreement, because usually people don't like. App purchase, shopping. So shopping experience has changed. People learned about e-commerce and how to use it. Hello, Rumesh Kumar. Nice to see you from Australia, I believe. Fasim says, okay, flexi work environment, work from home, online shopping, food chaos. What is that? Food chaos, yeah. High income individuals shopped more online while the earning less do much shopping at all. Work at home, online purchasing have increased, shopping over consumer food. Now, when you're building a product in a situation like this, it's critical to understand from all of your saying, people have started focusing on essential items than on any luxury items. What was the last time you bought anything luxurious in this context, in this period? Pretty much never, right? Everyone is buying essential items. So anything that you build, yeah, self-cooking, focus on the essential items. Your product has a higher chance of doing things if it's focusing on the essential items like food, education, medicine, things like that. I'm glad none of you said, okay, I'm trying to sell expensive jackets or expensive handbags, anything of that sort, right? That's probably not worked for a while. Yep. Cool. This is so. I'll end this session with one last thing. A lot of people say if you practice something for 21 days, Stephen Covey was the author for that. If you practice something for 21 days, like if you wake up in the morning, exercise, do this, do that continuously for 21 days, that becomes what? That becomes a practice. That becomes a practice after 21 days. So if what people do today, right, buying online, ordering online, delivery, uh, can become permanent behaviors. So if you are planning a product, plan for these newly found behaviors, because some of these behaviors will become permanent. Moment that is permanent, there's a high chance your application to create more value and gain uh, eventually gain traction. So I'll leave all of you with that, and good luck to everyone. Everyone, I'll be online, I think, for a few minutes if you have any questions, anything. And all right, okay, Arshad, I'm waiting. Let me know when you're ready.
Hi. Okay, back. Anjana, thank you very much for giving
You're
us
welcome.
such an enlightening session, right? So, probably every single time that has never made me disappointed to learn something new. I probably every single time I go through this, I have something new to learn. And I'm pretty much sure all the audience out there has really got the taste of UI. As I told, Anjana has a lot to give back to us. It's just that we have limited time. Thank you very much. But Anjana will be around. Also, we'll get Anjana into Discord with the team so that he can allow little more time with you guys whenever he could. Also, more to take it forward. Yes, guys. So again, we'd like to always give you a short, impactful lives as such this. And also, Anjana, please feel free to join us on our Discord community, which is it will go until tomorrow evening, so that you can also help them and they can tag you on questions, and which the team is super active there. So there's all these night owls, the entire participants out there will ask a lot of questions. I'm really happy taking this initiative to come online, do this online. The entire panel of participants, mentors, and people, speakers like you have really done a lot of justice, and more to do, and more to give as community to build this. I think it's a very good challenge. We all bringing together to make sure that we are fighting towards something solid through COVID-19. And because, as you correctly said, how things we work, how things design, everything is going to change. Right? I think design going to play a major role in terms of experience. So, guys, we have a few more updates coming in for you all. Please, we are going to just sign off in a while, giving you a little room, and where Anjana will be there for about another 10 minutes maximum, because we don't want to fill his time also, because he'll join us, you guys, on Discord. Beyond that, we have live coming up again at 8:30, which 7 to 8:30 you will have mentorship session going on. Soon after this live, get back to Discord, get the second mentorship session started. So 8:30, we're going to discuss two important things. One is about what to pitch and how to pitch. Your pitching way of pitching towards tomorrow's final, and also round one evaluation. So we have few important updates where you have a specific deadline tomorrow to submit your pitch, and how that will be shortlisted, and all details about tomorrow's judging, tomorrow's live, how we're gonna do, right? Especially about what to pitch. And guys, please work your best. Take Anjana's advice very serious, and the rest of the mentorship which have happened today and which will happen for another 1.5 hours in the later evening today and also tomorrow morning. So this is going to be a take-home experience. But what is in it? Try to get into that top 10 to pitch tomorrow in front of judges, and which will go live in all the platforms, right? Which is a greater opportunity to get a greater audience, and all the validations, all people to know about what you are up to. So your net worth is net worth, right? So how many people you know for what? So increase the people that we are doing something like this, and get people to know. Wish you all the very best, guys. like have a offer about a 45 minutes. Get back at 8:30 and 7 o'clock onwards. Please get your mentorship session schedule. And also don't forget you have your $300 individually, and also Cloudflare perks coming in, and also individual the top $500 each for active people who is going to be part of this particular community, right? So be very engaging, be very active around. So wish you all the very best. Thank you very much, and again, thank you, Anjana, for giving this
Welcome.
time and the opportunity. We extend the invitation to Discord. Please get in so that admin team will help you out.
All right.
Uh, so with the
Thank you, guys.
which
Bye.
will make it happen. Thank you very much, Anjana. Thank you very much, team, audience. Wish you all the very best. So take a break. We will tune in again at 8:30 at live, and more especially 7 to 8:30 your mentorship sessions. Get the Discord arranging, and all the organizers will support. Thank you very much. Right. See you soon at 8:30.